FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
Wow, what's going on, everybody? It's another crazy Thursday morning brought to you by your favorite content producer, Antonio Brown. Oh. Well, we got some good stuff for you today, kids. Now he's going after Alex Guerrero and Tom Brady and the entire world. Oh, my goodness. Welcome into the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the law offices of Christopher Palermo. Nick Geddes from Outkick.com joining me here. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing well. I texted you last night. I was like, looks like we have tomorrow's show basically laid out for us. It's been that way the entire week so far. But so thank you, Antonio.
Thank you, Antonio. We appreciate it. I know we try to bring a little bit of levity to this, and I know it's serious when we're talking about mental health, and I get all that. But like, you know what, one of the things we say about this show is we try not to sugarcoat stuff. We're not here to be politically correct. We're here to dig down into what really is freaking going on. And that's what we're going to do again on the show today. You may not agree with us, but we're going to tell you an unvarnished truth, not some corporate polished BS bullcrap that you might get someplace else. We're going to give it to you straight. And there's a lot of crap going on here right now. And I think, one of the things we do best is kind of read the room in terms of what's happening in the media. This is all right now with Antonio Brown, a big media game. It's a big media game. It's a fight to who has the moral high ground. And we're going to get into the whole thing. But one of the things that I see developing here with Antonio Brown's statement that he put out last night, he's been on Twitter and Instagram, I guess, mostly, putting out different memes, attacking different people, attacking Brady, attacking Alex Guerrero, putting out text messages that some people think are a smoking gun. They are not. You got to understand the context of the entire situation. And that's what we're going to try to do today, is put it into context. And one of the worst things, and I put this out last night on Twitter, the worst things I see going on right now is AB and his attorney are obviously setting this up for a grievance. But what's worse for the football team is, in the statement that he put out, he is clearly trying to make himself a martyr. He's trying to make himself the victim here. And he's putting it out there on his social media to get all this support. And you know what? To my absolute shock, and I shouldn't be shocked by this anymore, people are buying this bull crap. People are buying this bullshit. It's unbelievable. This is Jesse Smollett level bullshit that's going on right here. And people are actually buying this crap. I cannot believe it. But I shouldn't, I mean, look what's been perpetrated on people that you want to believe what you want to believe. I think that's what this really shows us. And why this bothers me is because he's setting it up to divide people, divide the locker room against BA. Now our players going to have to come. I think players need to come out and support Bruce Arians, or not, depending on what you think happened. If you're a player and you think that AB was wronged, say your piece. I want to hear it. I want to hear the information. But everything that I've been able to detect and talking to people who were in the locker room, who heard the outburst from AB in the locker room at halftime earlier this week. I mean, we should just go right through the timeline as I understand it. And we'll start it right there. And by the way, here's the show lineup. Got to get this for you as well. Chris Torello from Spectrum Sports 360 is going to join us at 10:15. Anthony Becht, former player, obviously, former Buccaneer, will join us at 10:30. Our friend Evan Garrett, who I like to call the super fan, the voice of the fans, will join us at 10:45. He's been out there DMing with Rick Stroud and everybody else, and is really in the thick of this from a fan's perspective. So we're going to get him on to talk about from the fans' perspective as well. So chasing a couple other interviews, and we'll see what happens. We got stuff from Arians, from Gronk yesterday, and Dominican Sue that I thought was kind of interesting. So we'll get to it. And remember, this statement came out late last night. So Bruce Arians and the players were not asked about it yesterday. They will be today. Tom Brady is scheduled to speak today. Will Tom Brady come out and support his coach? Now, AB put out a meme this morning, Home Alone in New York, BA face on one side and Brady's face on the other. So connecting Brady and BA as the enemy. I mean, imagine that. Imagine all that Tom Brady has done for this guy, and now you're going to turn him into the villain. He texted Alex Guerrero last night, obviously TB12 on Team Brady, about he owes him that Guerrero owes AB $100,000 because he agreed to work with him. He paid him, and now he doesn't want to work with him anymore. And Guerrero's text back was very gracious. Yeah, I'll get you the balance, whatever it is. So, I mean, he's attacking everybody who has supported him all this way, that brought him back from the depths. And that, first and foremost, ought to tell you something. That ought to tell you something right there about who he's dealing with, who he's siding with, who he's talking to. That ought to tell you something right there. I mean, if you're looking at all the characters involved here, which is something you have to do in a situation like this, a kind of a he said, she said situation, you have to look at their backgrounds and see what is their pattern of behavior. And for AB, it's been nothing but lying about certain situations, clearly, attacking people that are wanting to help him, attacking his general manager on the field when he was with the Raiders, attacking coaches like Mike Tomlin, and the Steelers organization was wrong. They wronged him as well. All these paragons of foot, Bruce Arians has a sparkling reputation with his players as an honest man and an honest coach. We've seen that time and time again. And yet people are still going to side with, despite all the visual evidence that shows you that he was not injured. I mean, I put so much video up there on Twitter last night showing him coming in. There, he ran a stop route where you're flying down the field trying to sell the deep route, and then you stop on a dime and you come back. He stopped on a dime so quickly that the defensive back fell down. You do not do that on a harshly injured ankle. Yet with all this video evidence, some of you are still buying into this bullshit. It's freaking laughable, as is this statement, and I want to read it. First of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to the Bucs fans and my teammates. The Bucs helped me return to productive football after I had difficulties that could have ended my career. We worked together to resolve these difficulties, and as always, I appreciate that. Being part of a Super Bowl champion team and then a contender is a dream come true. I made mistakes. I'm working on myself. I have positive influences around me. But one thing I don't do is shy away from playing hard on the field. No one can accuse me of not giving it my all in every play. Absolutely agree with that. Because of my commitment to the game, I relented to pressure directly from my coach to play injured. Despite the pain, I suited up. The staff injected me with what I now know was a powerful and sometimes dangerous painkiller that the NFLPA has warned against using. And I gave it my all for the team. Bro, come on. Everybody takes the shots. Everybody takes the shots. And you've taken the shots before. Everybody knows about them. Any NFL player that's reading this is going, oh, my God, are you seriously saying this? I'll continue. He said, I played until it was clear that I could not use my ankle to safely perform my playing responsibilities. Dude, look at the tape. There was never a point in the tape where you are limping or grimacing or anything. Moments before the throwdown BA, Brady comes over to you and says, are you good? And you said, I'm good, or something to that effect. You're nodding your head yes in affirmation. You don't look in pain whatsoever. All right, I'll continue. On top of that, the pain was extreme. I took a seat on the sidelines, and my coach came up to me very upset and shouted, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I told him it's my ankle, but he knew that. It was well documented and we had discussed it. And then he ordered me to get on the field. I said, Coach, I can't. I didn't call for medical attention. Instead, he shouted at me, you're done, while he ran his finger across his throat. Coach was telling me that if I didn't play hurt, then I was done with the Bucs. I didn't quit. I was cut. I didn't walk away from my brothers. I was thrown out. Being fired on the sideline for having a painful injury was bad enough. Then came their spin. Coach denied on national TV that he knew about my ankle. No, he didn't. That's a lie. That's a lie. Everybody knew about the ankle. You were on the injury report. This is you trying to spin this. What he said was he didn't talk about the ankle during that conversation. You're saying you did. He's saying you didn't. Coach denied on national television that I knew about my ankle. That's 100% inaccurate. Not only did he know I missed several games with the injury, he and I exchanged texts before the game where he clearly acknowledged my injury. He obviously knew I was on the injury list, and the GM acknowledged after the game in text messages to my camp that I did tell Coach about my ankle pain on Sunday. Listen, all Bruce Arians said was they didn't talk about the ankle in that exchange. That's what he said. Not that he didn't know about the ankle injury. So you releasing these texts is not some smoking gun. You're trying to spin it for the adults out there that don't get it. It works. For the people that don't understand the context, that works. But that's how a lot of this misinformation stuff works. So it's complete and utter BS. All right, now to follow the timeline, then he starts putting out these memes attacking Brady, attacking Arians, attacking Alex Guerrero. I mean, it is on. It is on. And now what is the Bucs' response? And this is what's going to become very interesting. And by the way, I thought John Ledyard from Pewter Report did a really, really good thread on Twitter. It just got kind of going over and over all the injury situations from this year and how Bruce Arians and the team have always sided with caution. Always sided with caution. Have they made mistakes? Yeah, I think made a mistake with Gronk trying to put him back out there, but he got back spasms in that game. Not related. Well, I'm sure they were related to the previous injuries, but that's hard to predict. When a guy can practice during the week and thinks he can go, he goes out there and he can't go. What did they do? They took him out of the game. Okay, that's what you do. I mean, medical decisions are not cut and dry, black and white. It's very gray area type stuff. But the bottom line is, what Antonio Brown here is doing is saying, because you can't get cut if you're injured, and that's the Bucs that cut him. But it's perfectly within a coach's purview to tell a guy to get off the sideline. He wasn't cut right there. He wasn't officially released from the team. What did AB say? I don't know what he said, but basically he said, "You're done." Does that mean you're done for the day? Does that mean you're done here with the Buccaneers? What does done mean? We don't know if that can be, but I know what it meant to AB. And listen, folks, this happens all the time. There are disputes on the sideline all the time. Players don't take off their gear and make the show about themselves in the middle of the game. He doesn't give a rat's ass about his teammates, clearly, if you do something like that. I just don't understand how people, with the video evidence that is out there. I even saw someone broke down the video evidence, and he's looking at these plays. He's talking about the stop route that he ran, and he said, "Oh yeah, look right there. He's favoring his left ankle." No, he's not. You cannot run that route the way he runs it. If you have a severely injured ankle and the pain is so much that you can't stand it. That's ridiculous. That the video does not match up. And folks, that is Exhibit A. He's trying to paint this as if he was cut because he's injured, and of course you can't do that in the NFL. It's bull crap. And he actually hasn't even been cut yet. Remember Keyshawn Johnson? Keyshawn Johnson was never cut. He was just put on the inactive list every week because they didn't want him around the team. Now, let me just explain this timeline to you as well. This is from talking to people that were in the locker room and people within the organization. There were flare-ups already this week, and you can tell by the text messages that there were issues with he and BA. Okay, so the feeling was they didn't feel like AB was severely injured, and this is just this is from sources that I've talked to. And there are people that were just like, okay, what the hell's going on here? And as I mentioned, last week's press conference did not sit well with some people within the organization when he started blaming the media for his problems. And then this week you had the not coming to practice, or I shouldn't say not coming to practice, but missing practice because of the, quote, ankle injury. And then you see him go out and play the way he did this week. It just doesn't add up. The way he played last week, the way he played this week on tape, the way he looked, no limp, no grimace, no nothing. And by the way, he says he has this, the MRI was done by the surgeon. Let's see the radiology report. Let's see the radiology report that says all the injuries. He says he has floating chips in his ankle, which, by the way, every player in the NFL has that. He says there's a tendon torn away from the ligament. Let's see the radiologist report on that. And let's interview the doctor and let's put his name to it. Haven't seen that yet. He's putting out all these documents and all this stuff, but we haven't seen that. He's saying he's injured. He's saying he has all that. I want to see the proof. Sorry, I got to see the proof. So there were already issues going into the week, and then he gets into the game, and he's on a pitch count. You noticed that Jen Hale came out of the halftime interview and specifically said that Mike Evans and Antonio Brown was on a pitch count. Now, there was a play, I put the video up, where he was on the field right after a tight end or a wide receiver's tunnel screen to him, which they ran 3 of them, trying to get him the ball. So this whole idea about his incentives is a joke. They got it. They went out of their way to get his incentives last year. They were going to do it again this year. Brady knows that's part of leadership and helping the team win. So then he's coming off the field. He's going back to the huddle, and he's pulled off the field for a different grouping for whatever play they're going to run. Happens all the time. And he clearly looked like he was like, what the hell are you doing? So that's when I think things started to boil over. Then he went back to the bench. Brady came over to check on him because he obviously heard there's something going on. And AB nods his head. Now, we don't have the video of the actual, or at least we haven't seen it yet. Maybe somebody in the stands will produce it. And then that's when the altercation with Bruce Arians occurred. And there are lots of mics on the sideline. So if the Bucs want to get the audio out there, they'll probably be able to do it. So it's going to be interesting how the Bucs respond to this now. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Chris Torello is going to join us. He has lots of opinions. This man's never afraid to put an opinion out there. That's why we love him. And he'll join us next. Quick 2-minute break. Stay with us.
Who wants free mobile service? I do, and you can get 30 gigs a month from companies like AT&T Service, T-Mobile. Great service. Keep your number and get free mobile service. It's part of the emergency broadband benefit from the stimulus bill. 87% of America qualifies. So if you think you make too much money or whatever, just go to jpcares.info and find out. It'll take you a few minutes. jpcares.info to find out if you qualify for free cell service. Get it now before it's all used up.
JP, Santa, and young St. Nick. Get us right over here. My partner for the Golden Diamond Source. You hear that? Christmas music. It's Christmas time. You just popped a question to your lady from the Golden Diamond Source diamond that you got.
Yes, I did. The Golden Diamond Source, the best place to go get your diamond for an engagement. They helped me so much. They're so courteous for somebody who's so nervous. And it's Christmas, like you said, if you're thinking of popping the question, you need to go to the Golden Diamond Source.
It's the Jewelry Super Center, fully stocked, fully staffed, and yes, just a short drive from downtown Tampa or wherever you're coming from, right there on Ulmerton Road. Avoid the madness at the malls. And whether you're a first-time buyer or looking for that 10-carat custom design, they have it all. 9 jewelers who practiced in 2009 with a passion to help all Floridians with disputes where they were forced to take on the powerful and needed a champion in their corner. Chris wants to make sure you will receive the most aggressive and compassionate representations. He has recovered millions in settlements on behalf of his clients facing defective stucco damage and other construction issues. So call Chris, mention the JP Show, and he will give you a free consultation. That's 813-221-5636, or go to PalermoPA.com. He's a fifth-generation Tampanian, graduate of Jesuit High School and the University of Florida, and he cares deeply about you and the community. That's 221-5636 or PalermoPA.com.
Coming back at you. Now, more with JP on FanStream Sports. It's only just begun.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the law offices of Christopher Palermo. You can get him at PalermoPA.com. If you have any construction malfeasance issues, commercial or residential, he is your guy, PalermoPA.com. All right, speaking of malfeasance, who better to talk to than the great Chris Torello from Spectrum Sports 360. He points out the malfeasance of so many people on Twitter. What's up, my friend? How are you?
Hey, how's it going, man? Yeah, a lot of things going on.
Just thanking Antonio Brown for all the content this week of the show. So easy. Really appreciate it. Let me just open up the floor to you. I kind of detailed in the first segment all the things that are going on, all the things that were put out by AB. Just give me your rundown. What's your take on the whole situation?
Well, it's so fluid, right? And I think, first off, I think AB would have done himself a lot of good if he had just let the agents stand with his statement last night as well as AB's written statement. I think all the Instagram stuff, I think everything that has happened from the time he chose to run off the field at MetLife, to then, wearing designer shoes for a bum ankle, to putting out a release album on Instagram, having an Uber driver, doing all that he was doing with him, the Home Alone Instagram stuff. I mean, it's not a good look. And then on top of that, you have him going after Alex Guerrero, tagging Tom Brady, saying, "How could you hang with people like this?" And then a couple minutes ago, he tweets out, "Oh, no, like Tom Brady, I love Tom Brady. I love my teammates. This is all about Coach," meaning Coach Arians.
Yeah, you screwed that one
up. It's a lot to take in, but it all comes back to one thing, JP, the conversation on the sideline.
Yep.
And where was BA's head at the time? What was AB clearly said? All he said to AB was, "I can't go. I can't go in." That's all he said to him. So there's a lot of interpretation, and it really, you were trying to find the video last night. I'm so surprised Fox hasn't found anything, or some staffer hasn't leaked a raw video, or that guy who had the video of Mike Evans from the stands, saying don't leave. I mean, someone's got to have something.
Yeah.
So
there's cameras and mics all over the sideline, as you know.
Yeah. And you have the Inside the NFL on Showtime. I'm surprised they don't have it.
They have it.
And I'm sure they have it. It's like the Gruden. It's the Gruden emails.
Yes.
It's the Gruden emails.
Yes.
Oh, well, we only have those emails.
Right.
So I think if I were trying to figure things out, I want to see the video. And also, if you're Antonio Brown, there's protocols. You go to the trainer if you're hurt. The trainer tells the coach, "Hey, AB's no good. We're taking him to the locker room."
Exactly.
Like there's a protocol in place. So I just don't understand. Moments after you make a nice catch, you're not limping, you come off the field, you're not happy with Tom Brady throwing to Gronk instead of you.
Right.
There's a lot going on that and look, I'm not going to diagnose this guy. It's not my job. People on Twitter are like saying he's completely, mental, and that's not my job. My job is to look at everything and say, this is all that's happening. It makes your head spin. Yeah. From Sunday to right now, it's making your head spin.
Yeah, and the biggest problem right now, Chris, as I see it for this team, is it's going to divide the team because of the way AB has set this up. This statement, all the stuff that he's putting out, attacking the Bucs, attacking the coach, it's going to force Tom Brady. It's going to force the other players to answer questions about this. Now, how is Brady going to handle it? If Brady comes out and says, "Look, I just want to, AB is going through some stuff. We just want to support him and be empathetic," that's a non-support of your head coach. That's a non-support of your head coach. There's no other way to read that. If he doesn't come out and support his head coach and support his teammates, then there's going to be issues. There's going to be issues in the locker room. There's going to be issues. The fans are already divided. This is a team that's chasing a second straight Super Bowl. And what are we talking about? What are we talking about? We're talking about this knucklehead. You don't think that's what all the players are talking about? You don't think that they're afraid to do media now? Imagine back in the old days when we were allowed in the locker room. They'd all be going, "Oh my God, here it comes." Right? This is not a good situation. And this is what you get when you bring this lunatic into your inner circle.
Well, I'll say this. You got a Super Bowl out of it.
Yep.
And, there's a lot of, look, I think the Tom Brady thing is Brady has believed in him for a long time. He was enamored with him in Pittsburgh. He wanted to play with him. He got that chance for 1 week in Miami, and they lit it up. and then they had to get rid of him because of other allegations. So I think Brady has always had big faith in Antonio. Look, Chris Godwin is a terrific receiver.
Yes.
They need to bring him back regardless of injury. Mike Evans is the greatest receiver the Bucs have ever put on a Bucs uniform.
Yep.
But Antonio Brown is the most talented receiver in that room, hands down.
Yep.
It is effortless. It is just a God-given ability to find that ball, and he's just so good. Like,
Yep.
it's different, you know? So I think Brady understood what Antonio Brown meant to this team. And, you know, I know you tweeted out the video. I know others tweeted out the video. Brady's going and saying, like, I got you. Like, I'm
Right.
going to get you paid.
Yes.
Like, this is a whole – it's so – and then, but look, you talk about Brady. After the game, Brady did what he needed to do for his friend.
I get it.
And I think
get it.
When we hear from – but look, when we hear from Brady Thursday, this is where this is the most important stuff he's going to say, because you know the Strouds, the Almonds, the Petersons, you know, the Torellos, all going to be asking, like, what, like, hey, man, like, he's saying Alex Guerrero owes him money. He wants to know why you're with him.
Yep.
And then he's saying he loves you. You know, what are you going to say? I could see Brady taking that the senator approach, right? The political, you know, very diplomatic, saying, look, I stand by what I said Sunday. We love him. We want him to be well. You know, it's a tough situation for him, but we got to move on as a football team. Like, I think that's what you're looking for. You want Patriot, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, who says he's not here. It's not our problem. We got to win a game on Sunday. So that's what you need to find out. And I think Brady understands, look, we got to win a Super Bowl without AB. And I got to find a way to win a Super Bowl with Cyril Grayson.
Right.
And, you know, with Rashad Perryman. So that's where I think Brady's going to separate himself starting today. Yeah,
if he doesn't support his coach, though, I think that's a statement as well, because this is a direct attack on his coach, the leader of this team. And I wonder, you know, does Bruce have the support of the team? I would think yes. Yes. But listen, did Bruce handle it in the best way? Clearly, he got emotional. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't blame the guy. Because there, Chris, and I don't know what you're hearing, but I'm hearing that there was stuff leading up to this all week long in practice. You know, we saw the old AB last week in the press conference, right? That was the first kind of eye opener for me. I was like, this is old AB. When he started blaming the press, the media for his transgressions, right? That was old AB. And I was like, oh, shiz, here it comes. And then the whole week, now we got more problems that led up to it in the week. Ian Rappaport reported that. I've confirmed that from sources. There was an incident in the locker room at halftime. He was bitching about not getting the ball at halftime. So you know, that's in Bruce Arians' head, and Bruce knows. He even said it to Peter King. He had that look in his eye I haven't seen in a while. Old AB was back, and Bruce Arians knew it's time to get this guy out of here. And it was between he and AB have had issues all along. BA never wanted him here. And that's when it exploded. That's what I think.
Well, no, here's the thing. This wasn't Bruce Arians. And look, Bruce Arians and Jason Light they love Tom Brady. They worship the feet of Tom Brady. And when Tom Brady says jump, they're going to say how high. Okay, they're not concerned. They want to bring in whoever he wants. I mean, they've done it time and time again.
Yep.
Whoever Brady wanted on the team, they went and got him. So, you know, I think, you know, this is Tom Brady. This is, you know, Bruce Arians. But here's the thing with Arians. This guy had the zero tolerance policy.
Yep.
Then they get through the season. He was a model citizen. They win the Super Bowl. Then they go into the offseason. They bring him back. And then it was almost like, okay, I'm accepted back. I can be me again. Like, it's almost like, you know, I'm trying to word this correctly, but it's like, you know, you can only stay on the straight and narrow for so long if you truly don't accept your flaws.
Exactly.
And I think, you know, it was almost like, you know, an alcoholic saying, I can walk into a bar and not have a drink. Well, you can only do that once or twice.
Right.
And then you're going to say, well, I can have one drink. I can manage myself, you know, and then that turns into 2 and 3 and 4. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, there's a point
100%.
where you just go back to who you were.
Yeah.
And I think Antonio Brown, like you said, he got to a point over the last week and a half where he felt, now maybe there is something to the fact that maybe he wasn't completely healthy and he didn't feel like he could, get to a point where maybe he and BA had the best relationship where he felt trusted with him. I don't know. I can't get between those two.
Right.
But I'm sorry. There is something it's so hard for me to get to Sunday, have him walk up to Bruce Arians, who was down 14 to a terrible football team, and look at him and say, "You're my best player. Why aren't you on the field?" "Oh, I can't play, coach. I'm not going." You're done.
Yeah.
If he takes that to mean I'm done,
Right.
like you
Exactly.
hate me, I'm off the team.
Exactly.
That could mean, fine, then go sit down. Go sit down. I guarantee you, if he doesn't run off the field right there and do what he did, Bruce Arians goes to the podium and says, "Yep, he told me he couldn't go.
Yeah.
So we'll figure that out."
Yeah.
He doesn't. Bruce Arians made the decision to say what he said, and people are calling Bruce Arians a liar on Twitter right now because they haven't released him.
Yeah.
That's not his job. This isn't college where the coach cuts you.
Right.
There is Jason Light. There's Mike Greenberg. They are the people that go to the NFL wire and say, "We are releasing AB. We are designating for this." There's a hierarchy, and Bruce Arians doesn't have that hierarchy. Now, I will say this about the locker room: Tom Brady's the damn head coach of this team. It's not Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians is just enjoying the ride. So this is Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I can't remember the coach. I can't remember LeBron James's coaches. Can you? No. Tom Brady, the coach of the Bucs.
Yeah, and he's going to have to pull this all together. And I wonder what his message to the team is going to be. It's probably going to be, well, this is just like an injured player. No, it's not. He's trying to divide your team. He's making a concerted effort on the outside to divide your team and divide the fans against you. And he realized that calling out Brady was a bad idea, right? And then somebody must have got to him and said, "Stop doing that. That doesn't work for our strategy here." So there it is. All right, Chris, I got Anthony Becht coming up here. I want to get his take as well. Thank you for your take. Always, I love it. It's fresh and it's always honest, and we really appreciate that. What's going on at Spectrum Sports 360? Give me a quick plug.
We got a lot going on, man. We're kind of getting ready for the Bucs this weekend, and then I'm actually going to be talking with a female NFL agent from our area who's got some Bucs clients and is trying to help these guys beyond football. So she's really trying to dip her toe in the water. So I think that's something people can look forward to right around the start of the playoffs. Try and pull it out there.
Awesome. You always come up with the best stories. Very interesting stuff. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. We'll catch up with you later.
All righty. Thanks.
All right.
See ya.
Anthony Becht coming up next. We'll get his take. And my guy that's been in the league 12 years. He knows the sideline protocols. This Bucs team's got a lot of great sources. We'll get his take next. Quick break. 3 minutes. Stay with us. The PGA Tour's Valspar Championship is back in March in 2022, March 14th through the 20th, right in the middle of the best weather of the year and the last stop on the Florida swing. The Valspar has become one of the must-do events on Tampa Bay sports and social calendar, so get your best tickets before they sell out. The game's biggest stars love the Copperhead course in Innisbrook. Last year, we saw Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth. Wow, the crowds, and another star-studded field is expected again this year. Sam Burns took the title and will defend again at the Copperhead. This will be a full tournament with the return of Valspar Live, our free Saturday concert featuring Chris Young and Big and Rich, and other amenities including Chameleon Cove, the Hooters Owl's Nest, the Publix Chill Lounge, and other hospitality venues. Go to ValsparChampionship.com for tickets. The best premium hospitality areas will sell out, so don't wait. That's ValsparChampionship.com.
Are you selling your home or refinancing? JP here for Greenleaf Title. You choose the title company, not the realtor, and it makes a difference. You want a reputable company that will make sure your title is secure. There are a lot of scammers out there right now, so go with a trusted company like Greenleaf Title. Plus, they will close anywhere, folks, and they will send a limo to pick you up to come to the closing. Yep, the great JP Limo Closing is back. All you got to do is give them a call at 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. We'll set up the limo for you. They'll come pick you up. Heck, we even picked up one couple, took them to Black Rock Restaurant, one of our favorite advertisers, and then to the closing. That's how they do it at Greenleaf Title. Great service. Will close anywhere. The lowest fees in the business. 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. That's greenleaftitle.com.
JP, Santa, and young Saint Nick get us right over here. My partner for the Gold and Diamond Source. You hear that? Christmas music. It's Christmas time. You just popped the question to your lady from the Gold and Diamond Source diamond that you got.
Yes, I did. The Golden Diamond Source, the best place to go get your diamond for an engagement. They helped me out so much. They were so courteous to me for somebody who's so nervous. And it's Christmas time, like you said. If you're thinking about popping the question, you need to go to the Gold and Diamond Source.
It's the Jewelry Super Center, fully stocked, fully staffed, and yes, just a short drive from downtown Tampa or where.
Qualifies. So if you think you make too much money or whatever, just go to jpcares.info and find out. It'll take you a few minutes. jpcares.info to find out if you qualify for free cell service. Get it now before it's all used up.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show with JP on FanStream Sports.
All right, the cavalcade of great guests just continues with our next guest, the great Anthony Becht. 12 years in the league, former number one pick, Bucs analyst, Jets analyst, college football analyst, great dad, super coach. He's everything. What's up, partner? How are you?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Better than AB. Although I don't know, he's probably thriving in this situation. He loves this type of stuff, right? And as he put on his Instagram this morning, any publicity is publicity. I don't think it's very good for this Buccaneers team right now. Well, we've kind of detailed everything that's gone on with social media and everything else. What's your take on this whole deal? You've been on the sidelines. You know the protocols. What's your take?
Well, I think first and foremost, I talked about this day one. I didn't love the sign. There's obviously a high probability of issues that were going to happen, and this is quite frankly the price you pay as an organization to win a Super Bowl sometimes.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
that's just what it is.
Yep.
And, they got it. It was kind of peaceful year one, and you kind of push the envelope to try to get more. And when you get a little greedy, that's what happens sometimes. You pay the price. So, I think in large, the organization is just as involved as AB is in the situation. And I think both sides kind of got what they wanted. Now, as far as protocol and things of that nature, proper protocol obviously is, you're injured. Okay. You're in the game. Everybody knows you're injured. You got a shot, all that stuff's common. If it begins to be a problem in the game, then you don't decide, okay, alone without, going up to any trainer or any health professional or doctor and say, hey, just tell the coach I'm not going in. And then he hasn't gotten any type of, assistance from the trainer or anything telling the coach on what the situation is. So, that's just not how it works. You don't have your own rules. Doesn't matter if you're AB or Tom Brady or anybody else. You go in the tent, you get checked, and then from there, the trainer tells the coach exactly what's going on. There is no dialect between coach and player until after the fact when coach comes by and says, hey, man, you good to go, this and that, blah, 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 but he already has the information in hand. So, to me, that's just whatever he's saying there, whatever he's trying to push. That's the proper mode. There is no other option. That's how it goes. I don't care if you're asking me or anybody else. So again, I just look, there's trying to create a narrative here to protect each side, and unfortunately, you're going to hear a lot of different things. But as far as that's concerned, that's how the process works.
And we never saw him go to the tent. And I'm probably pretty sure that you've looked at the tape and you've looked at every play. And you've had guys that had bad ankles and been shot up. Happens every day in the NFL, almost on every team. Have you ever seen a guy run a stop route like he ran in that second quarter where the defensive back fell down because he stopped so violently? And never a grimace, never a limp, nothing on the tape. Did he look like a guy that's severely injured to you?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's ways to, guys can, mentally fight through those things. But normally, even with that, after the fact or getting up,
Right.
you have some type of, subtle limp or anything. I mean, drugs can mask the pain quite a bit. I mean, trust me, I've been there, done that, especially the adrenaline of the game. But, I think throughout the game, I mean, that was, pretty legit route that, had a couple starts and stops and unless he's got a hot pain tolerance, which a lot of players do. I mean, there's guys that just go out there and block it out mentally, but still it's, I think to me, he looked like he could continue, but again, I can't judge what the tolerance of pain is for different players, but normally you would see something.
Yes. And we saw nothing. And right now, the way he set up this statement, the stuff he's putting out on Instagram and, vilifying BA, calling him a liar. I mean, to me, it's setting up to really divide the fans, which it already has on Twitter. You can see that, and divide the team. I mean, what's going on the team right now? Is Brady going to have to come? If Brady doesn't come out and support his coach, if it's just a lot of, well, AB's having issues, I stand by my statement. We got to look forward. We got to look forward, and doesn't demonstratively, or at least in some tacit way, support his coach in this. Isn't that an issue?
Again, consequences. You sign a guy like Antonio Brown. Unfortunately, if you're going to go into the signing with a blind eye, then shame on you, right? So again, Tom Brady, the organization, BA, Jason Light, Antonio Brown. These are all the consequences you pay for almost, for pretty much dealing with the devil. I mean, you made a deal with a guy that's got a track record that was very visible to the eye, to anybody that looked at it. And you stuck your neck out there personally, and that's Tom Brady and Bruce Arians and the organization, and said, you know what? We trust and we back this guy because these are the conversations we had, and we believe that he's going to lead the path that we want him to. And unfortunately, that was willingness. And it should have been from day one. No tolerance to any of these issues, this and that. They gave him another chance with other circumstances. Again, you put yourself in this situation. So, should the fans be divided? They should, because you know what? Half of them are excited the fact the guy's a really good player. They brought him on and he brought him a Super Bowl. The other half, wants him gone. Well, they should be disappointed as well. So I think this is what you pay. These are the consequences you pay for when you bring a guy like this on your football team. And nobody should feel sorry for the Bucs for any of this situation.
No.
This is what happens when you sign a guy like Antonio Brown.
And I totally agree with you, and I agreed with it at the time with you that they shouldn't bring him on. But I also said, look, he won a Super Bowl, and frankly, I think the way the Bucs have handled this, when Tom Brady, the guy who knows more about winning a Super Bowl than anybody on the planet, comes to you as a coach, and you don't want to sign the guy, BA did not want to sign him. I talked to him when we played golf, and he's like, no way we're signing him. He said that publicly in the aftermath, but he trusted Brady, and why wouldn't you? This guy thinks that we need him to win a Super Bowl. Why should I say no? So, a lot of reasons, but I'm going. All right. So he did win a Super Bowl. They kept
the only reason why anybody's mad now, even the fan base, because we don't have any receivers.
Right. Exactly.
Hurt,
and that's on AB.
Down. I mean, if Godwin was healthy, I wouldn't care. I mean, they don't need Antonio Brown. He's extra now.
Right.
He's a key part of what they need, and that's the problem I think that faces the organization and the fan base is, he's a person that plays at an elite level. That when he's on the field, Tom likes throwing the ball. He catches it and he makes big plays still, and that's a problem because this team is suffering a little bit on the outside without Godwin in the mix. So again, it's the path and the road is not easy for them, and it gets a lot harder now with no AD.
But Anthony, this is what I don't understand about fans is, look, if AB could have just kept it together, you laid out the protocol. This is how things are done. If he just went to the trainer and said, I'm done, and he never would have had a conversation with BA. He would still be on the team if he could have held it together. But I'm telling you, we said this last week. After last week's game, the old AB showed up in the press conference. He started attacking the media, blaming everything on the media. Y'all are all about drama, blah, 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 when it was something that he created. And I was like, this is a red flag. Then there were issues during practice this week. Then there was a flare-up at halftime. And then this. Clearly, this is because AB couldn't keep it together. The reason he's not here is because he couldn't keep it together, despite all the support that he's had, despite the Buccaneers standing by him through the vaccine stuff and taking a lot of shit for it. Despite all that stuff, he couldn't keep it together. If there's anybody to blame here, it's him. Nobody else. If you're a fan and you're blaming BA or Tom Brady or Bucko Bruce or Captain Fear, you're wrong. This is all on AB. Am I wrong?
No doubt. And shame on the fans for expecting him to live up to those high standards, because he wouldn't have. I mean, clearly. And you're right. He literally went through up to the vaccination card situation.
He was great.
We really didn't hear much about him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been quiet waters. I mean, everything he was doing, whether it was right, wrong, and different behind the scenes, as far as in the scene of the eye of everybody, we were good with it. The organization was good with it. Whether we were tucking away stuff, that was fine. It was all good. And then you're right. It's literally one situation after another situation. The last couple months just kind of blew up in his face. And I don't know. I mean, to me, if I'm AB, this is the best case scenario. You're the guy now. Godwin's down. I'm not, and not to say that in a disrespectful way because of injury. It's just everything's in your favor. Okay, you got a team that's going to make another run. You're going to be an important part of it. Everybody's talking you up how important you are as a player, and you couldn't just humbly accept that role. Instead, you used your sense of selfishness and entitlement, just like you did back in the day, to make it about you. And because of that, he still had it about him. It was all about him, whether he said anything or not. He just went the wrong path with it. And again, there lies the reason why Antonio Brown is in the situation that he is, because you're right. Antonio Brown doesn't know how to handle these situations at all.
That's so perfectly put right there for a guy who played the game and has been in the locker rooms, has been on the sideline. It's so perfectly put. And I guess the final question here, Anthony, is what do the Bucs do now? Or do they have enough to make a run? Cyril Grayson, it shocked me the way he played in the clutch, and Tyler Johnson on that last drive. Those guys look great, but that was, with all due respect, against the Jets. The competition is going to get ramped up. This defense looked like shit this week. They got to get Levante David back. They got to get Shaq Barrett back. But if they can get all these guys back, how healthy are they going to be? They don't have a bye. So what do you think are their prospects right now with all that?
Yeah, I think a lot of it lies on the defense this year. You're right. A lot of pieces defensively we know are going to come back, which will be great for this football team. And I think Todd Bowles is going to have to take, this unit to the next level. And, these players know what the expectation levels are and how to do what they need to do. I just think they're going to have to play their best football down the stretch that they've had, especially the fact that when guys come back, they have to get sped up and get going. So that number one is going to be key. I think offensively it is going to be a struggle. Even with Leonard Fournette coming back, it's obviously great to see Johnson and Grayson do some good things last week. They're going to have to consistently continue to prove and show that. And, that's going to be hard. I mean, it's a lot to put on those guys' shoulders. We've seen Tyler Johnson get a couple opportunities in big moments last year. He kind of didn't really get up to what he needed to be in those certain situations he filled in. He's going to get an opportunity now. But if those guys can do it, those guys are really good. I mean, Grayson's fast. I mean, speed is a factor.
Yep.
That can help. If he can be consistent with that, putting pressure with his speed is a problem, because they have to honor that, especially the fact that he made a couple plays, but he has to continue to do that. Brady's going to have to really see the field. And I don't want to say that he doesn't, but he can't just key on, Evans, or that he's going to have to maximize the weapons that are out there to be good, because, that's wwhy he's the best. And that if he does that, I think they have a chance. The work will be much tougher. There's no question about it, but I still think they can get where they want to get. It's not going to be as easy as, maybe last year was.
No question about it. All right, Anthony, great stuff as always, man. Really appreciate your time. Tell the folks where they can get all your tremendous content.
Yeah, it's Anthony_Becht on Twitter. You can find everything I'm doing, saying, or being a part of will always be there. And that'll get you to all my other Facebooks, Instagrams, and all that jazz as well. So appreciate the time, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, my friend. It's a great Anthony Becht. Appreciate it. I think he nailed it there. He absolutely nailed it. And that's the thing going forward, folks. None of this had to happen. None of it had to happen. It was just interesting. We were going through a lot of the rundown of what we're going to talk about today, this Aaron Rodgers story, which we're going to get to in the next segment, about, now there's AP voters out there for MVP that aren't going to vote for Aaron Rodgers because he's unvaccinated. He's a bad guy. You got to be freaking kidding me. The Novak Djokovic story, he gets down there after all the hoops that he jumped through to play in the Australian Open. Now he's got to be sent back home because of the Prime Minister of Australia freaked out. Kyrie coming back last night. Big deal, all the controversy surrounding Kyrie. You know what they all have in common? In AB, of course, vaccine mandates. Everything, all these issues, all these problems because of vaccine mandates that are unconstitutional. Not only unconstitutional in this country, but against the Nuremberg Code as well. And none of this crap had to happen. None of it. And we're not going to go down that rabbit hole, but just connect all of it. And none of it had to happen. None of it. I have to laugh about this. Nick, have you seen this post that Jenna put out? This one right here. I'm going to show it to you guys. This one, jumping on the trampoline.
Yeah, that was from I think that was from like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
He was just straight up jumping on the trampoline. And
you know where that is?
I think it's right here, right?
It's my gym upstairs. I told you, Antonio, I seen Antonio a couple times working out up there. So what are the chances that JP Peterson dresses up in his gray sweats and goes and recreates that at some point today and puts it on?
Oh, please. Please.
How funny is that going to be? I'm going to try to recreate I'm counting the jumps. By the way, if you zoom in on that rebounder there, you know what it says? Don't jump on the rebounder. What a jackass. Oh, my God. All right, quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into the Aaron Rodgers story. This one is another you can't make this crap up. You just can't make it up. And we got a couple other stories we need to get into as well. Kucherov could be coming back tonight. He's on the ice. He's in the morning skate, taking the line rushes. Look out, NHL. Here they come. Back in 3. Attention home buyers or refinance candidates. It is a great time to purchase or refinance. Home values are going through the roof right now. You've got so much equity, time to tap into that equity, get the cash, and make sure you're making the right financial decisions in your life. Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services in Tampa can help you out on all those fronts. I've known Fitz for over 30 years. He's done 3 of my mortgages. In fact, Scott has done over 3,000 loans in the Tampa Bay area for many of our coaches, athletes, from Bucs to Bulls. And he can save you big money. AMS is a wholesale broker. They will shop your loan to dozens of banks and let them compete for your business. Quick story, one listener had a done deal with a big national mortgage company, was promising a 2.75 interest rate. Well, when it came time to lock in, it was 3.25. Emailed Scott, got him the actual 2.75, saved him over $3,000 in first-year payments and $2,200 in lender's fees. Email him, scott@amstampa.com, scott@amstampa.com. JP here for my friend, attorney Christopher Palermo. If you are having issues with a claim on your homeowner's insurance from a sinkhole, storm damage, water intrusion, defective stucco, and construction defects, or any other issue, Christopher is your man. These big insurance companies didn't get rich paying out what you deserve. Chris founded his practice in 2009 with a passion to help all Floridians with disputes where they were forced to take on the powerful and needed a champion in their corner. Chris wants to make sure you will receive the most aggressive and compassionate representations. He has recovered millions in settlements on behalf of his clients facing defective stucco damage and other construction issues. So call Chris, mention the JP Show, and he will give you a free consultation. That's 813-221-5636, or go to PalermoPA.com. He's a fifth-generation Tampanian, graduate of Jesuit High School and the University of Florida, and he cares deeply about you and the community. That's 221-5636 or PalermoPA.com.
Who wants free mobile service? I do, and you can get 30 gigs a month from companies like AT&T Service, T-Mobile. Great service. Keep your number and get free mobile service. It's part of the emergency broadband benefit from the stimulus bill. 87% of America qualifies. So if you think you make too much money or whatever, just go to jpcares.info and find out. It'll take you a few minutes. jpcares.info to find out if you qualify for free cell service. Get it now before it's all used up.
The PGA Tour's Valspar Championship is back in March in 2022, March 14th through the 20th, right in the middle of the best weather of the year and the last stop on the Florida swing. The Valspar has become one of the must-do events on the Tampa Bay sports and social calendar. So get your best tickets before they sell out. The game's biggest stars love the Copperhead course in Innisbrook. Last year, we saw Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth wow the crowds, and another star-studded field is expected again this year. Sam Burns took the title and will defend again at the Copperhead. This will be a full tournament with the return of Valspar Live, our free Saturday concert featuring Chris Young and Big and Rich, and other amenities including Chameleon Cove, the Hooters Owl's Nest, the Publix Chill Lounge, and other hospitality venues. Go to ValsparChampionship.com for tickets. The best premium hospitality areas will sell out, so don't wait. That's ValsparChampionship.com.
JP, Santa, and young St. Nick, get us right over here. My partner for the Golden Diamond Source. You hear that? Christmas music. It's Christmas time. You just popped a question to your lady from the Golden Diamond Source diamond that you got.
Yes, I did. The Golden Diamond Source, the best place to go get your diamond for an engagement. They helped me out so much. They were so courteous to me for somebody who was so nervous. And it's Christmas time, like you said. If you're thinking about popping the question, you need to go to the Golden Diamond Source.
It's the Jewelry Supercenter, fully stocked, fully staffed, and yes, just a short drive from downtown Tampa or wherever you're coming from, right there on Ulmerton Road. Avoid the madness at the malls. And whether you're a first-time buyer or looking for that 10-carat custom design, they have it all. 9 jewelers in-house ready to make your dreams come true. Even layaways, 100% interest-free financing up to 5 years. Shop now for your best selection at the Gold and Diamond Source and make your lady wonderfully happy like Nick did. That's absolutely. Shop anytime online at thegoldanddiamond.com.
JP here for Italiano Insurance. You know, we're all just trying to make ends meet financially. And it's not just what you make, but it's what you keep. Think about how much money you spend on insurance every year. Well, Italiano Insurance can save you literally thousands of dollars. Here's how it works. Give them a call at 813-877-7799. Tell them what you're spending on all your insurance, your homeowner's insurance, your auto insurance, life insurance, all your insurance needs, and they will shop dozens and dozens of companies to get you the best deal. I was at a Rays game one time, and a couple told me, hey, I called Italiano. They saved me $1,400 on my insurance, my home insurance, $1,600 on my auto insurance. A business customer saved $26,000 on their business insurance. Large and small, they do it all, folks. 813-877-7799. An actual human being will answer the phone and give you great customer service. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799.
Cryptocurrency is all the rage today. The market cap for the industry is now over $1 trillion. And you read about people making millions of dollars, right? You want to get in, but have no idea what to do? Or maybe you dabbled a bit and you want to unlock the real money-making opportunities and don't know how to do it. There are over 10,000 tokens and thousands of decentralized finance exchanges to navigate. So what do? You go to DeFiLava.com. The folks at DeFiLava.com are in Tampa Bay, and they work with you directly to set up custom accounts, answer all your questions, and provide market analysis. Decentralized finance and cryptocurrencies are here to stay and will change the financial markets as we know them. Get in the game. Get with the experts at DeFiLava.com and tell them JP sent you and get their free 2022 crypto market forecast today at DeFiLava.com. Don't get left behind, folks. Make some money at DeFiLava.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Another rambunctious edition here, brought to you by the law offices of Christopher Palermo. If you have any issues with stucco work that's defective, a lot of that going on, construction malfeasance, commercial or residential, or you've done a repair on your home, or you had an issue with your homeowner's insurance company, Christopher Palermo will fight for you. He is the expert. Just go to PalermoP.com. and you can reach him there. The phone number is there. Give him a call. Tell him JP sent you. Give you a free consultation to let you know if you have a case or not. No, the call is free, so why not take a shot? He could be able to recover thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars for you. You just never know. He's done it for so many millions recovered. So go to PalermoPA.com and check it out. A friend just sent me this story with the power grid under pressure. California asked residents to avoid charging electric vehicles. How ironic is that? All right, I'm going to speak to superfan Devin Garnett coming up at 11:15. Want to get into a couple stories that are breaking this morning at the morning skate. Eric Erlinson, Lightning Insider, putting out some video of number 86 taking line rushes with Braden Points and Palat. So it looks like he may be back tonight for the game against Calgary. Calgary in the playoff hunt out west, currently in playoff position. So we should have a Donnybrook tonight at Amalie Arena as Kucherov comes back, and we saw what a difference Braden Point has made. Boy, this team is going to be so much faster, so much more aggressive. Vasilevsky back. If you're the rest of the NHL right now, you are very, very scared. Very scared. This team is ready to explode. It's almost like that little 3-game losing streak was something that kind of lit their fire, so to speak, and now they're ready to go. I can't wait to see it tonight. 86, 21, 88, all back out there.
Yeah, and we're going to get the third, by the way, of the third line from last year back in town tonight, Blake Coleman.
Oh, that's right.
So we already had Gordon, Goodrow get their rings. Yeah. Coleman's tonight. So
welcome back.
Another video of
welcome. Yeah, those are cool though.
Yeah, and let's be real. He had the probably the most important. I don't know if most important, but the best goal.
Oh, the diving goal.
The diving goal.
Diving
game
stab
2.
Goal. Oh.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Think we'll see that tonight on the big screen?
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will. Hopefully, we just don't recreate that tonight.
I think we will. All right. One of the other stories I want to get into, which is just mind blowing. Aaron Rodgers did his press briefing. Obviously, they're locked into the number 1 seed. To hear that he's going to play this weekend is, I mean, as a Buck fan, so to speak, kind of glad. If he goes out there and gets hurt, what a story that's going to be. But the bigger story is, so some freaking nutball who has a vote for the AP Most Valuable Player. What's this guy's name? I forgot it's got some weird name. Akush or something. He's a Chicago writer and a Chicago shocking development, right? A Bears writer. He's a part of Chicago sports radio. And he basically comes out and says, Aaron Rodgers is a bad guy. He's the worst guy, all about the unvaccinated stuff and blah, 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 blah. And that's why he can't vote for him for MVP.
It was a Habakush.
Yes. Yeah. Do you have the quotes right there? That he has since retracted. And come on, bro. You can't retract that stuff. That's what's in your head. And I think there's probably a lot of voters that think the same way. And it's absolutely disgusting. I mean, these guys, this is about legacy. This is about bonuses, real money, all these. And these are the people that are charged with being impartial when it comes to BS like this. Vote for the MVP. It has nothing to do with his effing vaccination status. Although I guess you could say, well, he missed the game. Everybody's missed games. Yeah. And it doesn't necessarily mean that's the problem of the player. What about the rules? The rules that they've had to amend because they were so effing stupid.
Listen, they did it with Kirk Cousins as well. Kirk Cousins is unvaccinated. He goes the entire year of being free, and it just so happens the most important game of their season. He tested positive on Friday, and people were like, "See, he's unvaccinated." Newsflash: if he was vaccinated, he tested positive on Friday, he still wouldn't be playing on Sunday.
And all the vaccinated players are testing positive anyway.
Yeah.
So your whole argument is ridiculous. It makes it worse because you were wrong. You were wrong. You said vaccinated players weren't going to get COVID. You were wrong. The president said that. You were wrong. He's still saying that. He's wrong. And the fact that you're wrong, you've been proven wrong, makes you even more enraged. Call him a bad guy. You don't know him. What a jackass.
Yeah.
What a complete jackass.
And moving it back to Rodgers here, these were the comments that Arkush first made. He said, I think the way he's carried himself is inappropriate. I think he's a bad guy, and I don't think a bad guy can be the most valuable guy at the same time, which, people do this with the Hall of Fame for baseball too. And they do it in the NFL too. Like Terrell Owens not being first ballot.
Right.
I mean, they do it with everybody that they think is a bad guy. How should that impact what happens on the field?
Who the
cares?
hell left you as the arbiter of who's good and bad guys? But more than that, how arrogant do you have to be to make a declaration that a guy's a bad guy? Like who the F are you?
Yeah. Well, Roger,
but of course, anybody who doesn't agree with you and your vaccine stance is a bad guy.
Yeah.
Come on, people. What's wrong with you?
Rodgers did respond to it yesterday here. It's about 2 minutes, unfiltered Rodgers right here.
It's good stuff.
Think of one of the 50 voters coming out and saying yesterday, quote, I don't think you can be the biggest jerk in the league and punish your team and your organization and your fan base the way he did and be the MVP. I think he's a bad guy, and I don't think a bad guy can be the MVP at the same time.
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum. He doesn't know me. I don't know who he is. No one knew who he was probably until yesterday's comments. But and I listened to the comments, but to say he had his mind made up in the summertime, in the off season, that I had zero chance of winning MVP, in my opinion, should exclude future votes. His problem isn't with me being a bad guy or the biggest jerk in the league, because he doesn't know me. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know anything about me. I've never met him. I've never had lunch with him. I've never had an interview with him. His problem is I'm not vaccinated. So if he wants to go on a crusade and collude and come up with an extra letter to put on the award just for this season and make it the most valuable vaccinated player, then he should do that. But he's a bum, and I'm not going to waste any time worrying about that stuff. He has no idea who I am. He's never talked to me in his life. But it's unfortunate that those sentiments. It's surprising that he would even say that, to be honest. But I knew this was possible. Talked about it on McAfee weeks ago. But crazy.
Nailed it. Great response. Great demeanor in his response. It just, folks, the vaccinated players are testing positive more than the unvaccinated players by percentage too. By percentage. It's not just in football. It's all over the world. It's all over the freaking world. And I don't listen. I understand initially you have some thoughts about the vaccine, and everybody has thoughts about the vaccine initially. But as the data continues to come out, lots and lots and lots and lots of data, and told you, once you get the vaccine, you will not get COVID. That was a lie. Once you get the vaccine, you won't need another shot. You don't need a booster. That was a lie. We don't know how many boosters. They're safe and effective. That's a lie. There's lots of side effects of this, and it has not been tested. And why do you think Pfizer wants to keep all their testing information under wraps until 2055? Why are there so many media reports in other countries? Of course, you're not allowed to report anything negative about the vaccine in this country, or you get canceled. Go look at the VAERS reports, which is completely horribly underreported. More than 20,000 people reportedly have died. Look at the Medicare numbers. The Medicare numbers are out, and that's a hard number. Within 2 weeks, over 46,000 people died within 2 weeks of taking the vaccine. Now, I'm not saying this is proof positive that it's not. It's a wonderful or it's a horrible vaccine, but to sit there and say that it's completely safe and people who have no risk whatsoever should still be taking it and be mandated to be taking it is ridiculous at this point. And if you're saying, well, he's a bad guy because he's hurt his team, so the vaccinated players hurt their team too when they couldn't play, does that make them bad people or just a victim of the situation? Answer that question. Does that make them bad people too? I don't know. That's up for your judgment. But I think people, once they take a stance, they don't want to move off a stance, no matter how much information and data come your way to refute what you're talking about. At some point, you got to look at the data and go, okay, well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe these people do have some pause to not take this particular situation. I get it now. Just, be honest about it. But for a guy who has an MVP vote to be saying this shiz, and I know a lot of people agree with him. I happen to not agree with him. I think it's horrible. The courts don't agree with it. The mandates are being thrown out every time they're challenged, and hopefully people will come to their senses. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, so much of this BS has to do with these vaccine mandates, and the situation. If you haven't heard about this one in Australia with Novak Djokovic, he went to the board of the Tennis Association, the Australian Open, applied for a medical exemption. Which they've given a handful of medical exemptions for people that have had COVID in the past 90 days. They get an exemption because they, at least in some places, they recognize natural immunity. There's a lot of different ways to get the medical exemption. And he jumped through all the hoops they asked him to do, and he got the medical exemption. Then he shows up in Australia, and because he's such a high profile person, the prime minister gets involved and says, no way, we're not giving any exemptions because, frankly, because all these people in Australia are so pissed off. They're all locked down because of the way they're handling this down there. And so everybody's screaming bloody murder, and I don't blame them. Like, why does this guy get to, come out and play tennis and we're locked in our houses? It's not because they're pissed at Novak Djokovic. They're pissed at the prime minister. They're pissed at the stupid rules that they're still having to live under down there. No one, yeah, of course there's going to be an explosion. And the anger is misdirected, but people in the media say it's Djokovic's fault. No, he did everything he was supposed to do. And he flies down there, gets stuck in the airport, and then they send him home. Well, what a joke. What a joke. And all of this because of vaccine mandates. Kyrie played last night. That was interesting. Played really, really well. A lot of people thought he would be rusty, but came off the bench and played really, really well. And loved the way Kevin Durant welcomed him back in the post-game press conference. You see that?
Yeah, and I mean, I think, again, this is all media created. The media is always going to care more about these things, I think, than the players do. I don't really think anybody on that team is thinking like, oh, Kyrie let us down. Kyrie did this.
No.
I really don't think so.
Nope.
And yes, Kyrie's very important to that team, but the Nets still, I think, are number one in the East without him. And they get him back. Guess what? Now they're the top contender probably for the finals. So they're glad to have him back, but the ridiculousness of it is now they play, I think, 2 or 3 home games in a row, and you don't have them now because of these mandates in New York. And we keep trying to think, oh, maybe in a month or 2, things are going to get better. I don't know. I don't see these mandates going anywhere. We're seeing already in California, these mandates, they just ramped them up even further now.
Ridiculous.
For these indoor events.
Thankfully, they canceled, the Grammys and some of the other ridiculous shows. Anyway.
Yeah, we didn't need to see that anyway.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah. But Super Bowl's in jeopardy.
The Super Bowl is in jeopardy, and it looks like Jerry World has first dibs at it. And
bring it to Tampa.
Yeah,
the free state of Florida.
We've maxed out our events.
Well, we could certainly host it. We could set it up in a heartbeat. But how about that? They're going to have to move the Super Bowl because of the ridiculousness out there. And here's the, why do we? There's so much data out there. The lockdowns are counterproductive.
I mean, the foolery of this.
It's
did you read the Los Angeles County, their little mandate yesterday they put forward? Every employee inside all these arenas in Los Angeles, SoFi Stadium included, they're specifying which mask they can wear. You can't just wear whatever mask you want. You have to wear this N95. It's all specified.
Are you telling me the cloth masks don't work?
No, those are those are the little surgical ones, correct? Yeah. No, those apparently do work. That's listed. It says any surgical mask or N95. That's the approved mask.
Well, no, I've seen all these. Fauci even came out the other day and said the cloth masks don't work. When he told us for years, they didn't work. Then they did work. I mean, how are you people still falling for everything they say when they retracted 3 months later? How are you still falling for this? It's laughable. The same people that are falling for the ABBS. Give me some audio from Gronk yesterday. I wanted to play this before we get to Devin, who's coming up. Gronk was asked about the whole AB situation, about his conversations with AB and how they're going to handle this situation. This was before, he put out all the BS in his manifesto and all the memes and everything attacking Brady, which he's now coming off of. No, I'm not attacking Brady. Yes, you are. Here's Gronk from yesterday.
Well, you're kind of in that situation. throughout the whole year, when someone's missing, you see someone go down. In this aspect, it's not an injury. It's a different way that, some other people have to step in. So it's football. That's what it is. It's always other teammates stepping up. And that's what we got to do. For example, look at Cyril. He stepped up his game, had the game winning, touchdown in the final, minute of the game. So it's just that, the next guy up, whoever steps in, and that, goes with the tight ends too. That's more of an opportunity for us tight ends to go in and make some plays and step up.
Were you guys close enough to a point that you would have reached out and had you to Antonio?
I'll just keep, all my conversations, with Antonio, just, to myself, privately.
It's just prerogative, and that's fine. But given what AB put out and continues to put out there, which is clearly dividing the fans, he's setting himself up as a martyr to force his way back in the NFL, and it basically becomes a he said she said with Bruce Arians. And I'm not sitting here saying that Bruce Arians handled it perfectly. I thought his post game interview and his Monday interview was very cryptic. Which I think is clearly because they know the grievance is coming, and like any defendant in a grievance, everything you say publicly can and will be used against you. So I'm sure he was instructed to be very short and be very to the point with his answers, as to the answers not being twisted. So I understand why he had to do that. That was not the usual BA, but that's out of necessity. Now, but the whole idea that, this is a team that is forcing a guy to play hurt is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Look at the tape. The guy was not hurt. I mean, is he having, a bit of an injured ankle? Everybody's injured at this time of year. But are you good enough to go? Clearly, the tape showed he was good enough to go. Clearly. You can't argue otherwise. It's video evidence. If you're believing this stuff, you probably believe Jesse Smollett was mugged as well. Same situation. All the facts that we know about AB and about the situation do not support his side of the story. And if he has a radiology report from a doctor and an MRI that's torn tendon off bone, let's see it. Let's see it. I don't believe it. Everybody else wants to believe it. You want to believe things you want to believe. Guys jumped out of them 2:00 in the morning wearing MAGA hats, had a noose and some bleach, 2:00 at 0 degrees. You want to believe that? I guess if that's what you want to believe, you can believe it. I'm going to look at the history. I'm going to look at facts. I'm going to look at the video evidence. I'm going to look at all that and say, yeah, I'm not believing that. I'm not giving it one shred of credibility. None. And I'll print your manifesto, but I'm also going to say, yeah, we looked at the tape. There's no hint of any injury, grimace, anything else. So, all right, quick break. When we come back, Superfan Kevin Garnett's going to join us, and we're going to get the fan side of this. He's been on Twitter. We did a Twitter Spaces last night with a bunch of Buccaneer fans. What are the fans saying? How divided are they? What's going on with his beef with Rick Stroud? That and more when we come back.
Attention home buyers or refinance candidates. It is a great time to purchase or refinance. Home values are going through the roof right now. You've got so much equity. Time to tap into that equity, get the cash, and make sure you're making the right financial decisions in your life. Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services in Tampa can help you out on all those fronts. I've known Fitz for over 30 years. He's done 3 of my mortgages. In fact, Scott has done over 3,000 loans in the Tampa Bay area. Many of our coaches, athletes, from Bucs to Bulls. And he can save you big money. AMS is a wholesale broker. They will shop your loan to dozens of banks and let them compete for your business. Quick story, one listener had a done deal with a big national mortgage company who was promising a 2.75 interest rate. Well, when it came time to lock in, it was 3.25. Emailed Scott, got in the actual 2.75, saved him over $3,000 in first-year payments and $2,200 in lender's fees. Email him, scott@amstampa.com, scott@amstampa.com.
Who wants free mobile service? I do. And you can get 30 gigs a month from companies like AT&T Service, T-Mobile. Great service. Keep your number and get free mobile service. It's part of the emergency broadband benefit from the stimulus bill. 87% of America qualifies. So if you think you make too much money or whatever, just go to jpcares.info and find out. It'll take you a few minutes. jpcares.info to find out if you qualify for free cell service. Get it now before it's all used up.
The PGA Tour's Valspar Championship is back in March in 2022, March 14th through the 20th, right in the middle of the best weather of the year and the last stop on the Florida swing. The Valspar has become one of the must-do events on the Tampa Bay sports and social calendar, so get your best tickets before they sell out. The game's biggest stars love the Copperhead course in Innisbrook. Last year, we saw Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth. Wow, the crowds, and another star-studded field is expected again this year. Sam Burns took the title and will defend again at the Copperhead. This will be a full tournament with the return of Valspar Live, our free Saturday concert featuring Chris Young and Big and Rich, and other amenities including Chameleon Cove, the Hooters Owl's Nest, the Publix Chill Lounge, and other hospitality venues. Go to ValsparChampionship.com for tickets. The best premium hospitality areas will sell out, so don't wait. That's ValsparChampionship.com. JP here from my friend, attorney Christopher Palermo. If you are having issues with a claim on your homeowner's insurance from a sinkhole, storm damage, water intrusion, he's a fifth-generation Tampanian graduate of Jesuit High School and the University of Florida. He cares deeply about you and the community. That's 221-5636 or PalermoPA.com.
Pure Sports. JD is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by Chris Palermo, attorney at law. If you have any issues with your homeowner's insurance company or your construction malfeasance of any kind, you can give him a call. Go to PalermoPA.com and get his number and that free consultation if you have a case. All right, wanted to welcome in our good friend Devin Garnett. I like to call him the local super fan. Whenever you want the voice of the fans, he's my go-to guy because he's always on Twitter, always has the pulse of the fans on Twitter. What's up, my friend? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, Kucherov's coming back tonight. Yeah, baby.
I know. I saw that. I'm excited. We're going to talk a little bit about that on Loose Puck, so I'm excited.
Good. And you can pimp cast. We totally are into that. Podcast way better than radio.
Well, I came on here to also tell you we need you on the podcast.
I'm on anytime. I'd be absolutely honored to come on with you guys. Great stuff.
Cool.
I love your podcast.
We'll schedule that.
Yeah. So first and foremost, what the hell's going on with you and Rick Stroud? Why are you guys going at each other? What the hell happened there?
First off, he's just been reporting negatively on the AB situation. And then personally, I defended AB before all of this.
Right.
Thinking that Mike Edwards didn't get the same slack or the same, kind of treatment that AB did. So from my perspective, he's, spent weeks making stories, reports, going after AB. And he simply, tweeted out probably 2 nights ago, now blaming the team, saying that AB shouldn't have even played and going after the team. So all I said was, you spent weeks bashing him and now you're switching it up like to the team, like make it make sense. And I put a clown emoji. And from there, I thought it was dead. That tweet was probably sent at like 6 or 7 o'clock at night.
Right.
The next morning I wake up and I get a DM and it was sent at 6:37 a.m. and it was just a long novel of Rick Stroud in my DMs and just being very narcissistic about it. I don't like posting private conversations, but if you're going to be someone that's a moral compass, you want to be the moral police, go after everyone else. I feel like the people should know that. So
I got a few of those.
That's where you're getting your news.
I got a few of those.
So, I mean,
DMs
I'm
too.
never,
from him.
So, I mean, to me, I don't like posting that, and people are saying that I was doing it for clout, and it's like, no, he wants to be the moral police.
Right.
I've had private meetings with Brian Auld and know so many things off the record that should not be shared in public, but you don't see me. You call me the voice of the fans. You don't see me running out and telling the fans, what was said. It's nothing about wanting clout or anything like that. It's just holding someone accountable for, your mistakes. And there's been so many more rude tweets to Rick Stroud, and I've stayed out of it. I really have, until, I saw him kind of switch up. And it just seems like every time he reports, it's something that's super negative to the team. And I can't tell you how many people have DM'd me from media, from everywhere, in my mentions, everything, saying that he's not liked, in the Buccaneers organization. He is not liked. And that is a fact. I'm not going out there saying all that. All I'm doing is sharing information that he did. I don't like posting DMs, but to me, this was warranted.
Hey, listen, I don't have a problem with it. And, why didn't he just say it on Twitter? I mean, he's saying everything else on Twitter to you. Why not put it out in the public space? And, I've gotten that treatment from Rick as well. And, he can dish it out, but he doesn't really like taking it. That's for sure. And I'm stuck by. I thought his reporting on the Vax card was spot on. It was very good. He did what he was supposed to do. But I think some of the Romano columns that followed with all this moralism is a joke. To say that he was in some way wronging his teammates or coaches in any way. I mean, come on. We're all adults here. We know what's going on with COVID, and he ain't the only one with a fake card in this league. And I don't have no information about it, but gun to my head, somebody said, "Do you think Tom Brady took that vaccine?" Hell, freaking no. Ain't no way. That's just my opinion. So, for what it's worth, but this whole situation, how do you lend credibility to what AB's saying without questioning it at all? I mean, look at the freaking tape. Look at his background. I mean, if you're going to put this stuff out there, put some context to it. He puts context to every other thing. How do you not put context to this? Like, yeah, we looked at the tape. There's not, he looks like he's playing fine. There's not a hint of a limp, not a hint of grimace. He's doing stop routes, that are breaking the ankles of defensive backs. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous that he was so severely hurt that there's a tendon torn from a bone. Come on.
So there's always three sides to a story. We talked about this in the spaces that we had last night. There's the Bucs side, AB side, and somewhere is the truth. When he made those claims last night, I still didn't believe it, but I still gave it the benefit of the doubt. This morning, AB drops the combo, the text messages between him and Bruce, and nothing there is insinuating that that Bruce is going to force him to play.
Nothing.
All he said, and he's known on record to be a coach that doesn't rest players. He doesn't believe in that. He wants to ramp up and do that. He says in the end of text message, "Call me in the morning and we'll talk. Hopefully you're ready to go." There's nothing malicious about what he said. And you also have to remind yourself that the lawyer that put out this statement, these are hard accusations, JP. Like, if they're found to be true, I don't think that's going to happen. But you could be looking at major turnover in the front office, coaches, training staff, damn near the death penalty.
Yeah.
And this is serious stuff. So you have to remind yourself that this attorney, race car driver turned attorney, is the same one that initially put out the statement saying that he was 100% vaccinated and it comes out that maybe he was vaccinated after the
right.
But he didn't defend the fake card. He defended it saying, "Hey, this card is legitimate." And it wasn't.
Yep.
So now your credibility, you have an AB that's not been credible. It's always been everyone else's fault besides AB.
Yep.
Now you have a lawyer who is putting out the report doing that. It doesn't add up, JP.
No, it doesn't add up at all. And anybody giving it credibility is I said, just like the Jesse Mola case. I mean, he said it happened. Everybody believed him. And I'm looking at it going, what do you people look like? Are you serious? Are you serious? And that guy didn't even have the rap sheet that Antonio Brown has. But just on its face, it was a completely ridiculous accusation. And until, people actually had to be proven wrong with videotape and a trial and everything else, so they're still not admitting that it didn't happen. And with this guy, it's the same thing. The video says otherwise. His character says otherwise. His history says otherwise. But yet you're still going to believe this fool? Come on. You just want to believe it because you want to believe it.
This is a case of mental health. It is a recurring cycle. I have family members that are like this. It is a recurring cycle where they come down, then they go up, and then it's the same exact thing. This is the same cycle where, remember, he was trying to get released by the Raiders, and he was just blasting, dropping rap songs, blasting. Then he stopped. Then he got cut. Then he kept, going on live, doing all that stuff. Then he became quiet. Then he came back and said that he's gotten a lot of help with Tony Robbins, working on himself.
Yep.
And the moment I think things changed is when Godwin went down, and he knew. I believe, did you say that? Or I saw something like that on
leverage.
Twitter. That He knew that, and that was spot on, that he knew that he had the power. And you could see the way that he was tweeting is like, hey, respect, you got to respect me, or something like that. Like, all that. He knew he had the power, and the media, it was just a combination of a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And this comes down to mental health. I'm not trying to be a doctor here, JP, but I've seen this recurring cycle with family members in my own family.
Yeah, it's like you can, when you're surrounded by a lot of positive people and doing all the positive things, and they've taken you under the wing, this entire organization stuck by you, even through the COVID card thing. And when everybody wanted them, including Rick Stroud and John Romano, everybody else to dump him, they stood by you. And then this is what you do. And it's because you can't help yourself, I guess. But you can help yourself. You've proven that because you were good for a year. And if he'd have just stayed, with the positive people and not listened to the negative people in his ear, telling him, okay, now you got the upper hand, he would have been fine. This is all on him.
Absolutely. And he says in his statement, I'm surrounding myself with positive people. No, you're not. The moment that you got picked up from that celebrity driver, this guy immediately hops on his phone, immediately says, hey, AB, we're going to go viral with this one.
He's
and the
using
next day
you,
man. He turns around and calls into Part of My Take, the podcast, and calls him a nutcase.
Yep.
That's not your friend. If my friend did that in like a situation where I needed to buy, they turn around and use as an interview, I'm not surrounded by someone that is a positive person. He's surrounded right now by a bunch of yes men. And he told the driver, forget this. I wasn't getting the ball. Let's go turn up in NYC.
Right.
So what is it? Is it what you weren't getting the ball? Was it you weren't getting the incentives? Was it the injury? Because he also posts on his Instagram story, Kodak Black saying, oh, they didn't want to pay him. And he reposted that. So if you repost that, that means you believe some truth in that.
Right.
So what is it?
What is it? It's him wanting to be AB and all about AB. And it's him, his attorney got him and said, all right, we can turn this into agreements. We got to talk about the injury. This is how we're going to do it. Trust me, he didn't come up with that strategy. Because he knows it's going to work. To some level, it's going to work. And look he's already got all this sympathy from everybody online, all these Buck fans that are falling for this BS. I can't believe people are so stupid, bro. With all the evidence that's right in front of you, how can people fall for this? How can they support this? It's mind-numbing. How stupid do you have to be?
Because you have, how long has Bruce Arians coached? 40, 50 years?
Oh, my God. Yeah. And you see all the people lining up saying what a bad guy he is and how he always, forces players to go into the game when they're hurt and what a liar he is. And like we've heard that all for 40 years, haven't we? No, we've never heard one person. We've had everybody say the opposite. We've heard him say the opposite.
That's what aggravates me sometimes about Tampa fans is they're just so quick to jump, on things. And I don't know. This to me, everyone's saying, oh, well, Bruce lied because he said one chance and you're done. That wasn't Bruce's call to bring AB back. If Bruce had it his way, AB would have never been a Buccaneer.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
Period. He did it because of Tom Brady. But guess who else Tom Brady also brought in? Gronk.
Yep.
Leonard Fournette. All these other guys, Giovanni Bernard, we're not getting those guys if we don't have Tom Brady. We're getting people that want to be here because of Tom Brady. And this one, we knew had a potential to blow up, and that's why Bruce said it from the jump that he didn't want him. That doesn't make Bruce a liar. That means that Bruce is trying to give his quarterback the reins. That was our whole pitch to him coming here. So he's not being a liar. He's being a straight-up person because he told Tom, come here and you'll have say in it. That's the reason we have Tom Brady in a Super Bowl, is because Tom had say.
Yeah. And eventually we figured that this was going to happen, and it's happened. Listen, and I said this yesterday, man, the Bucs honestly played this about as well as they could play it. They got AB, they got him to control himself for a year. They got a Super Bowl out of it. I think if Tom Brady believes they couldn't have won the Super Bowl without him, who am I to disagree with Tom Brady? He knows a little something about it. And they got, they were 7-0 with him in the lineup this year. And as soon as he became a problem in terms of on the field chemistry, they got rid of him. So, you know what? They played it about as well as they could. And now they need to run as far away from him as possible, put him on the inactive list so he can't play anywhere else. And just
he's the Keyshawn treatment.
Yeah, but he's going to keep bitching, and he's going to keep, throwing out this BS. And there are media members out there and people on Twitter. They're going to swallow it until they're proven wrong. And then probably then they still won't admit it. So, but I just hope it doesn't fracture the team. I'll be interested to see what Brady has to say today. I think they have to come out and support their coach, because if they don't support their coach verbally, then they're not supporting him, in my opinion.
I think you're right, JP, but this is now legal. This is above the players. This is now a legal battle between the suits. So you have to listen to the suits. They might want to be saying things, they might want to, but that PR team is a pretty damn good team, and they're going to put a kind of a hush on it, I believe. That's why
you're probably right. You're probably right.
It's just if you keep feeding into it, that's exactly what you want. Like, that's exactly what he wants. He wants to cause disruption. If he sits there and watches us not say a word, go out there, ball, and go on another Super Bowl run, that silence to me speaks measures of, okay, they said something in the locker room, they got each other's back, they're going to do it without him. And JP, Tom has done a lot more with less.
You're absolutely right. And for some reason, I want some of these guys to just show some freaking courage. Show some courage. You're going to, if you come out and say, look, this is all bull crap. I support my coach. I loved AB when he was here. We tried to help him. Now he's turned on us, and I can't support that. I can't support what he's saying. I'm supporting my coach.
That just adds gasoline, though, JP. That just adds gasoline.
You know what?
Now AB is going to get on Twitter, and it's going to eat it up, and it's just more and more questions that people will ask and things like that. If they continue to shut down the media, they're not going to, they're not going to say anything, and the media's going to have to find something else to write about. If you keep saying no, you kind of look like a clown being, a reporter, keep asking the same exact question, and you're not getting an answer. You got to report on something else.
You're right.
I think they're going to keep their mouth shut.
You're right. I'm wrong. At least I can say that I'm wrong. But there's something in me that just wants somebody to have some courage and come out and say it. But you're right. They won't.
Oh, I want them to too, because I believe that this is BS. The proof is in the pudding. The text messages, the proof. And now you're going after Tom Brady, the one that, and his trainer.
Unbelievable. No, not totally believable, I guess, but man, that's crazy. Do you think the fans are going to keep doing this, keep supporting this nonsense?
I don't think so. I think it's still fresh.
Right.
It's still fresh. We get into, I would say we're probably going to keep going until into next week. But then when we get into the playoffs, I don't expect there to be much, especially if the players, talk and there's the organization's going back and forth, and now it's a war, like a statement war where one person's putting out a statement, the other party's putting out a statement, then it's going to keep going. But I anticipate them to kind of keep their mouth shut, focus on the task at hand, and we'll be focused on Buccaneer football on another Super Bowl run. And that's what's making me really mad too, is let's credit these players. Cyril Grayson,
wow.
What a story that is, and it's being shielded. It'll always be tainted by, that was the AB game, not the LSU track star who didn't play football and all of a sudden landed on a roster, and Tom Brady once again makes a random guy, a superstar. Like what a story that is. That's not even getting reported.
Yeah.
So I think
absolutely.
it'll die down.
Yeah, I hope so. Because, I mean, getting lost in that whole thing was just an amazing comeback by this team. And Tom Brady, the throw to Grayson was unbelievable. The catch, the other play, and Gronk was out of his mind. He was so good. He was so physical. I mean, he was just destroying people. And we, we've tried to highlight a lot of that, but we get sidetracked talking about this bullshit. And it's exactly what AB wants, and I'm guilty of taking the bait as well. I get so incensed that people believe this crap, and
but I know you're not trying to take the bait, but think about the Patriot way.
I know
of when this happened
right.
with AB. That shut down real quick. That was probably 1 or 2 weeks. Nothing else to talk about after that. They all shut their mouths and they didn't say anything, and they went on, to the playoffs. Obviously, they lost first round. That wasn't a problem. That wasn't an AB problem. That was a defense problem for them. But, I expect them to do it the Patriot way. They brought the Patriot way here. Gronk and Tom obviously are the leaders. Everyone looks up to them. They're becoming those types of leaders. You could see Mike Evans. He's always been a leader, but I just see an extra step of leadership. And it's like, listen, guys, he's not here no more. We're not going to change anything. Let's go out there and play football for our brothers that are here.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing to rally around.
I think they did that in the game, and I think they're going to do that moving forward. And your approach is much better than mine, but I can't shut my mouth. So
we know that, JP. We know that.
All right. Well, listen, brother. You got pimp your podcast while you're on here.
It's Loose Pucks Podcast. You can find it by searching Loose Cannons or Loose Pucks on YouTube. It's in the video format right now. We're in the process of getting it out on Spotify and all the other things. But yeah, we cover all things Tampa Bay Lightning once a week. We got some really good guests coming up in 2022. Some people within the organization. Definitely want JP on as well. So
hell yeah.
It's gonna be fun. I think it's just another cool aspect that Tampa Bay Lightning more podcast coverage. So that was kind of the inspiration behind it. I know we have maybe 1 or 2 podcasts that cover the Lightning. This is more of like a barbershop talk, joke around type of podcast. So.
And you're gonna do Spaces tonight with the Bucs again? I see that on Twitter?
And Spaces as well tonight. We'll be talking AV situation between 5:30 and 6. I'm not sure exactly what time we're going to start. I'm leaning towards 6 o'clock, but I'll keep retweeting it. Follow me on Twitter at Devin Garnett. JP, you're more than welcome. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But it's a cool. If you haven't done a Twitter space and you're listening, it's a really cool way to interact and hear other people's opinions.
Yeah, I got to be working the Bolts game tonight, but I can definitely stop in for a little chit chat between probably 5:30 and 6:30. So we'll do that.
All right, we'll start at 5:30. We'll do it. We'll call it the JP.
No, I don't know you never know what's coming up in my life, so don't wait for me. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get it. All right, brother. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get into some of these other situations here. We got some other stories to get to. Kucherov coming back. Cooper talked about this moments ago, so we'll kind of encapsulate that for you when we come back. Attention home buyers or refinance candidates. It is a great time to purchase or refinance. Home values are going through the roof right now. You've got so much equity, time to tap into that equity, get the cash, and make sure you're making the right financial decisions in your life. Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services in Tampa can help you out on all those fronts. I've known Fitz for over 30 years. He's done 3 of my mortgages. In fact, Scott has done over 3,000 loans in the Tampa Bay area for many of our coaches, athletes, from Bucs to Bulls. And he can save you big money. AMS is a wholesale broker. They will shop your loan to dozens of banks and let them compete for your business. Quick story, one listener had a done deal with a big national mortgage company who was promising a 2.75 interest rate. Well, when it came time to lock in, it was 3.25. Emailed Scott, got him the actual 2.75, saved him over $3,000 in first-year payments and $2,200 in lender's fees. Email him, Scott at amstampa.com, Scott at amstampa.com.
Who wants free mobile service? I do, and you can get 30 gigs a month from companies like AT&T Service, T-Mobile. Great service. Keep your number and get free mobile service. It's part of the emergency broadband benefit from the stimulus bill. 87% of America qualifies. So if you think you make too much money or whatever, Just go to jpcares.info and find out. It'll take you a few minutes. jpcares.info to find out if you qualify for free cell service. Get it now before it's all used up.
The PGA Tour's Valspar Championship is back in March in 2022, March 14th through the 20th, right in the middle of the best weather of the year and the last stop on the Florida swing. The Valspar has become one of the must-do events on the Tampa Bay sports and social calendar, so get your best tickets before they sell out. The game's biggest stars love the Copperhead course at Innisbrook. Last year, we saw Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth wow the crowds, and another star-studded field is expected again this year. Sam Burns took the title and will defend again at the Copperhead. This will be a full tournament with the return of Valspar Live, our free Saturday concert featuring Chris Young and Big and Rich, and other amenities including Chameleon Cove, the Hooters Owl's Nest, the Publix Chill Lounge, and other hospitality venues. Go to ValsparChampionship.com for tickets. The best premium hospitality areas will sell out, so don't wait. That's ValsparChampionship.com. JP here from my friend, attorney Christopher Palermo. If you are having issues with a claim on your homeowner's insurance from a sinkhole, storm damage, water intrusion, defective stucco, and construction defects, or any other issue, Christopher is your man. These big insurance companies didn't get rich paying out what you deserve. Chris founded his practice in 2009 with a passion to help all Floridians with disputes where they were forced to take on the powerful and needed a champion in their corner. Chris wants to make sure you will receive the most aggressive and compassionate representations. He has recovered millions in settlements on behalf of his clients facing defective stucco damage and other construction issues. So call Chris, mention the JP Show, and he will give you a free consultation. That's 813-221-5636, or go to PalermoPA.com. He's a fifth-generation Tampanian, graduate of Jesuit High School and the University of Florida, and he cares deeply about you and the community. That's 221-5636 or PalermoPA.com.
Are you selling your home or refinancing? JP here for Greenleaf Title. You choose the title company, not the realtor, and it makes a difference. You want a reputable company that will make sure your title is safe and secure. There are a lot of scammers out there right now, so go with a trusted company like Greenleaf Title. Plus, they will close anywhere, folks, and they will send a limo to pick you up to come to the closing. Yep, the great JP Limo Closing is back. All you got to do is give them a call at 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. We'll set up the limo for you. They'll come pick you up. Heck, we even picked up one couple, took them to Black Rock Restaurant, one of our favorite advertisers, and then to the closing. That's how they do it at Greenleaf Title. Great service. We'll close anywhere. The lowest fees in the business. 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. That's greenleaftitle.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
Fanstream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the offices of Christopher Palermo from the PalermoPA.com. Also, if you are in the market for a refinance or you just want to get some equity out of your home, you know, the Tampa market is up 24%. That is the highest in the nation for year-to-year home values. 24%, folks. So typically with a $400,000 house, you got an extra $100,000 in equity that you didn't have. So how do you touch that money? How do you get at it with the low rates? The rates have gone up, by the way, over the last few days, and we have no idea where they're going. So get with Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services right now and lock in a rate. That doesn't mean you're committed to doing anything at all, and it doesn't cost you to call him. The best way to get in touch with him is email scott@amstampa.com. He's going to shop multiple dozens of companies to get you the lowest rate. If you call, a 1-800 number or deal with your bank that you're already dealing with, folks, they have the upper hand dealing with one. Why do that? You can go wherever you want to refinance. And here's the good part. He's going to pay for your appraisal. That's a $500 to $700 value right there. And that's one of the biggest costs when refinancing. People are, I don't know if I want to do that. Well, folks, that means it's virtually free. All you got to do is he'll walk you through the whole dang thing, and you can pull this money out at a very, very low rate. You can pay off high credit cards. You can pay off your car. You can pay off lots of different things and get cash in your pocket for emergencies. And Lord knows what the hell's coming down the pike in 2022. So it's kind of a risk-free no-brainer. So get with Scott@amstampa.com. He's extremely reputable. He's done over 3,000 loans with coaches and players in this area. He's done 3 of my loans, so he's the best of the best and trusted. So just give him an email, scott@amstampa.com, and let him do all the work. You're going to save all the money. You will thank me for this. Trust me. All right, just a few minutes left in the show. I know we've kind of exhausted all the AB stuff. And just looking on Twitter, I saw Ira Kaufman tweet out something which I think is interesting. That where are the Bucs on this? I mean, crickets. It's 11:49 in the morning. And AB has just made some extremely damning accusations about your organization. And we've not heard from Jason Light. There's no statement out there. I know they're huddled around the PR team and all the lawyers. And I mean, trust me, folks, this is reverberating through One Buck Place like you would not believe. And that's the problem. This is topic A, not the Carolina Panthers. As much as you want to sit there and say, well, they can compartmentalize and football be football and let the administration do the administration, it doesn't work that way. It's human nature. When someone is attacking your entire organization, and Bruce Arians is being attacked viciously on the internet, and people and even Buck fans are siding with AB, you can't help but be bothered by this and be distracted by this. What do you think the players are talking about when they come in? They're not talking about the cover 2 and against Carolina. Sorry, not happening. Eventually they'll get in the meetings and they'll say, wait, guys, we got to focus on this. This is our focus at tap. Yeah, all that. Sure, they'll say the right things, but are they really doing it? No. And this is all on AB. So we'll await the
I did want to point this out before we move on from AB. There is actually a new surface video before the game that, take it with what you will, but
I think I saw that one too.
Did you see this one
where he's jumping around and running around? What? No, I didn't see this.
This is brand new from somebody on TikTok where AB, the entire team is huddled in the middle of the field. The entire team.
Oh,
and Antonio Brown before the game is looking in that direction but walking away through the end zone.
Wow.
And that's right before the game.
That is damning. That is really damning. I mean, and it's interesting. You got a lot of support staff. I don't know what they're doing, but a lot of them are running towards AB. I mean, come on.
They're all kind of looking in his direction there.
I hate to keep talking about this, but in case you missed it, I kind of laid out the timeline. And this is talking to people that were in the locker room, talking about people within the organization about last week. And this is kind of the timeline. So AB press conference after last week. I mean, we talked about this as being a red flag. We played it on Monday. He basically went back to the old AB, blaming the media, blaming, you guys, all you want is drama, blah, 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 blah. And we said, oh, wow, this is the old AB. And, he didn't look hurt, in that game, certainly. Then they come into this game. He certainly didn't look hurt again. But last week, there were issues between he and BA. He said he was injured or didn't want to practice, said his ankle was bothering him. And I think by the answers we got from BA the other day, I don't think they believed him. And they're like, all right, well, we'll coddle him some more. And you can tell from BA's text messages that he's trying to get through to him. Look, man, you're playing this week. We expect you to play. We expect you to be good to go. He even says, I have a little bit of issue with my ankle, but I'm going to give it a go. Everything seems cool with him, but there was, you can tell BA's calm. And from the people I heard saying that there was, there were some flare-ups last week. And so then it leads into the game. Now you see this video where the entire team is huddling. He's not around the team. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Then we hear about Ian Rappaport reported this. I had it confirmed that there was a blow-up of sorts in the locker room at halftime, where he was bitching about not getting the ball publicly out loud. So now we're like, and this is getting around the room. Everybody knows AB, here we go again. And, you see Brady coming up to him right before the blow up saying, are you good? And he shakes his head. Yeah, I'm good. And then what we don't have is the video of the altercation between him and Gronk. I'm telling you, there's got to be video exists. There's so many microphones on the sideline that the NFL Films has, they have all the copyright. They control it all. If they want to let it out, they'll let it out. If they don't, they won't. So, I mean, there's so much here that's going on. But the bottom line is This guy is doing the same shit that he did in every other place. In great organizations like the Steelers, the Raiders, iffy, but the Patriots and now the Buccaneers, and it's everybody else's fault. And if you're the Bucs, you're being challenged now, very publicly, and it's not good.
Yeah. And of course, the other layer here, we have a game to play still.
Yeah,
we still have a game to play.
A very important game to get the number 2 seed
on Sunday.
Yeah, to get the number 2 seed, and it doesn't look like this is going to be over anytime soon. But we'll see how the Bucs handle it today from a public standpoint. I'll be on Twitter, and we may do a Spaces tonight to talk about it as well. We need to get into the Spaces deal.
The Spaces realm a little bit.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, we could do that. Absolutely. So if something comes out, look for us on Twitter. We may pop it, even though I got to do the Lightning game. I'll be working the Lightning game tonight, which, by the way, John Cooper has come out and said he is good to go, and he is playing tonight. 86 is back on the ice tonight.
Yes. Don't know if we're going to have Stamkos tonight, but Kucherov will definitely be there.
What's up with Stammer?
It's a game-time decision. He did not practice today.
Okay. All right.
But here you go. Kucherov back.
Not a serious injury for Stamkos.
No, not an no.
But, boy, that'll be I want to see the whole band back together, though. That's what I want to see for sure. What have we not gotten to today, my friend? It's been all AB. I hate that it is that way, but it's what people want to hear.
I still had some audio here for Bruce Arians too. We haven't played yet.
Yes,
from yesterday, and something that we had been talking about a while was the tight end position. A lot of people saying, "What about the tight ends?" And Arians spoke about them yesterday.
Yeah, this is the new offense, perhaps.
3 really good ones, and so much of it's matchups, but I trust all those guys. And they've all got redeeming qualities. Cam's caught a bunch of balls. Rock caught a ball. OJ hasn't, but he can. And it's just getting opportunities. He had the one good 11-yard gain 2 weeks ago, got called back, but trust him totally.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Listen, I'm not saying BA is the perfect tells us the truth all the time. I mean, in situations like this, coaches just aren't. But you can't go out there and say I don't trust OJ, and the numbers are in the targets. You don't trust
the snaps. The snaps 3.
Let's just be honest on that deal. All right. With Grok talking about the playoff seeding, let's listen to that one as well.
Yeah, it's very important to win on Sunday, to go out there and, perform to our best. A couple things are on the line, our playoff seeding. That's definitely a factor. You want to be highest seed you possibly can be, and we have a chance to move up in seeding. So that's very important to go out there, play some good football, and give it our best chance to have the highest possible seed we can for the playoffs.
I mean, if they win, and they should win, and then I think the Rams, we got Rams and the Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If the Rams win, they secure the number 2 spot. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes.
So, the Eagles are coming to play. Ain't no doubt about that. And it's an 80% chance that the Bucs will face the Eagles in the first round, the best running football team. And if they don't get Levante David back, if they don't get Shaq Barrett back and their defensive guys, the Bucs aren't going very far in the playoffs.
No, that's a
team.
Guys,
and he has to be effective. It's not just being on the field. He's got to be 80% at least.
Yeah, especially Levante David.
Yeah.
You can't roll into there with Devin White and Kevin Mentor.
No,
especially Mentor trying to run around to the boundary.
You'll
it's
lose
not
going
to happen.
You got no shot. Unless you can just flat out outscore them.
With this variation of the Bucs offense, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Right now, as this team stands, do they have a shot at winning the Super Bowl? Absolutely, they do. You got Tom Brady. You're always in it. But I would say this iteration of the Buccaneers is about 80% of last year's Super Bowl winning team. That team was clicking on defense. This team is not. That team had more weapons offensively. This team is cut short because of AB's antics, And again, this I can't do it. What else we got? Oh, and Gronk said something yesterday I think is really, really interesting. I don't know if it's in this particular soundbite, but go ahead and play the one you got on Grayson and the young guys stepping up. I'll see if it's part of this one. Because when he was talking about the evolution of the offense, I think it was very interesting.
Yes, it's just great to see those guys step up. I mean, they've been working
Talking about Grayson and Tyler,
working hard all year since training camp. Just trying to be the best players that they can be, and just to see that opportunity that they have and stepping up helps out the team big time. Helps them out. Catching balls, but it helps the team out tremendously. So it's awesome to see. They've been working hard. You see them out at practice trying to get on the same page with Tom and rest of the players on the offensive side of the ball. So you'll just see them, keep stepping up, and it's big. It helps the team out big when they do that.
He also went on to say that, they evolve, and there's stuff that they haven't been doing that they're going to flip to as they move to the postseason. I think that has to do with play action passing and throwing the ball on first down. They're going to, they've set up certain tendencies that other teams are going to prepare for, and they're going to come back with other stuff. And that's how you win in the playoffs. That's kind of part of the Brady secret. So maybe we haven't seen the best of what they have to offer. Hopefully that's it. All right, another great show. Thanks to Anthony Becht, who joined us today. Chris Torello joined us as well. Devin Garnett. Really appreciate everybody jumping in today. Great discussion on AB. If you missed anything, download the app, and you can go right to the beginning of the show. And we will chat with you tomorrow.